Coming up on the Suze Orman Show, a major, and I mean major, Suze Intervention.
It breaks my heart every time they make these really irresponsible decisions.
These three precious children of yours are trying to say, Mom and Dad, please save yourself. We are worried about you, and all you say to them back is, it's okay. It's not that bad. I'm going to continue to spend. Of all the situations that I've seen on the Suze Orman Show, I'm here to tell you this is one of the most dangerous in the 10 years I have been here. And you ask me, can I afford it?
I'd like to buy a 2011 Harley-Davidson Street Glide.
For $20,000. Now, that is a sexy machine. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, oh yes, tonight we start with a major Suze intervention. If you are out there, I ask that you all stay and watch this because this is something that you all need to see. It starts with Michelle. Michelle, who is 30 years old, and she has two siblings, and Michelle wrote into the Suze Orman Show begging for help because her parents, Mark and Sherry, who are in their mid-50s, will not listen to the kids. Kids feel like everything that their parents are doing are leading to financial devastation. They are worried about their parents. They are at their end with their parents, but they love their parents. They want to help their parents, and they didn't know what to do. So we are about to meet Michelle, Sherry, and Mark. They're coming to us tonight from Washington. And Michelle, I'm going to start with you. Tell me why you wrote in to the Suze Orman Show.
Well, Suze, it all started, I'd say about 15 years ago. My brother had to have an emergency surgery, and we didn't have any health insurance at the time. So my parents, rather than defaulting on his medical bills, they took out a second mortgage on their house, a very large second mortgage. And it seems like ever since then, they've been literally robbing Peter to pay Paul. They've refinanced their house several times. They've cashed out their retirements multiple times and to pay for today's expenses, things like dental work and kitchen remodels, tires for vehicles, things of that nature. And my siblings and I were just really concerned that my parents are never going to be able to retire, and we love them so much, and we want them to be able to take that break, that couple years off before, the inevitable happens.
How many times have you tried to talk to them about how worried the three of you are?
Oh my goodness. Too many times to count. We never bombard them. We never corner them. Like, the three of us don't come at them ever. We take it, we do one-on-one conversations mainly with them, but it literally has been too many times to count. And it's not so much confusing because I honestly think that the three of us have learned from our parents' mistakes, and I think that that's probably what has led us to all be financially responsible.
So what made you responsible was you not wanting to be like your parents, not wanting to live that type of life financially speaking, wanting to be as good people as they are, but wanting to not be with them. Because here's how it works, Michelle, just so you know. You either want to duplicate what your parents have done, or you want to be the exact opposite of what your parents have done. Mark and Sherry, welcome to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Suze.
Listen, sweethearts, you just heard your 30-year-old daughter say the reason that she and the two siblings, your three children, are so responsible with money is because they don't want to be like you at all when it comes to money. How does that make you feel?
It makes me sad, but I can see their point.
All right, and so it makes you sad, that it doesn't make you sad enough to want to change?
Well, we've tried, but we're just not sure how to go about doing it.
And is that how you feel as well, Mark?
Somewhat. I feel like the kids, I'm very glad for them not to dig themselves in a hole such as we have. And I'm proud of them for that.
And are you proud of yourselves?
If in some ways, I mean, I'm not proud of my situation currently. No.
Yeah. Because here's the thing that really got me when your daughter wrote in, wasn't the fact that you have $35,000 of consumer debt and you have $35,000 in a retirement account, so essentially you have absolutely no money. Isn't even the fact that you owe more money on your home than what your home is worth. Isn't even the fact that you bought a house that was only $62,000 and now you owe $190,000 on it or something like that. So you refinanced it. If you hadn't ever touched the home, oh my God, you'd have over $100,000 of equity in it and owning it outright versus being underwater in it. It isn't even the fact that you owe $25,000 to the IRS or whatever that is and you're paying them back. It's the fact that these 3 precious children of yours that are trying to say, Mom and Dad, please save yourselves. We are worried about you. And all you say to them back from the notes that I have read is, it's okay. It's not that bad. I'm going to continue to spend. I'm going to try to make changes. But you know what? I don't really have to make changes yet because I have time on my side. So don't worry about me. How is it possible at the age of 57 and 52 that the 2 of you are not scared to death about your financial situation? Because I'm here to tell you, if this were my financial situation, I would be really petrified. And you now have gotten to the point where there's going to be very, very little that you can do about this, financially speaking, if you do not change your ways. So I looked at this and I wondered to myself, is there any part that Sherry and Mark think they smoke, they do all these things, that they're going to die before they have to deal with this, so it's really not as bad a problem as it seems? Do you ever think that? Be honest with me, the 2 of you.
No.
I've thought it.
You have thought it.
Yes, I have.
Yes, thank you, Mark. I knew somebody in this relationship had thought that, because this is the behavior of somebody who doesn't think they're going to live long enough and somehow wishes that they're not going to live long enough to have to deal with the problem that they created, and then simply it won't be a problem anymore. How do you feel as I say all this to you?
I didn't quite view it in that manner. I thought that possibly something would happen to me and not to erase what we've gotten ourselves into, but that there isn't enough time.
Right? So, but if something happened to you, Mark, you being really the sole breadwinner of this family, you having very little insurance on you whatsoever, if something happened to you today, Sherry, you currently make $13,000 a year. How would you make it to the very next day?
I know, I'd be devastated.
Devastated emotionally and financially.
Correct.
And now you become a burden on who?
My kids.
Your kids. Do you understand why your kids are so concerned?
Yes.
So, Mark and Sherry, do you understand that you really are at the end of the financial fantasy road that you have been traveling your entire lives?
Yes.
Yes,
Is this enough to make you want to change?
absolutely.
Yes.
Michelle, do you believe them?
I really, really, really hope that they do want to change. Sorry, it's an emotional
That's all right,
issue for
sweetheart.
me. But I have my doubts. My dad is going to be going to Iraq again for the 2nd time. And all 3 of us kids, we all have kids. And we want our parents to be around. And just the fact that he's having to go to Iraq to make more money, he's going to miss out on so much of his grandkids' life. My baby is only 2 months old. And so, he's going to miss out on almost her entire first year of life. And he went to Iraq before Suze, and when he came home, it was almost as if they were in a worse financial position than when he left. It seems like when they make more money, they spend more money. And what prompted me to write to you was the fact that I knew my dad was going to Iraq, and I was absolutely terrified, beyond terrified, that my parents would purchase a new truck with the extra money that they were going to be making over in Iraq. And I sat my dad down and I told him, I said, you know, with that extra money, I'm terrified that you're going to spend it on a brand new truck. And he looked at me and he said that he was going to get a new truck. He didn't know if it was going to be a brand new truck, but he was deserving of a truck. And it breaks my heart every time they make these really irresponsible decisions.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I could sit here and I could give you a financial plan because there is hope. You could turn this around. The two of you could even turn this around without you going to Iraq, Mark.
That would be great.
You know, part of me thinks that part of you wants to go to Iraq because you and I both know that something can happen to you over in Iraq, and that is the easy way out. And yes, you're thinking you'll go over there, you'll make $90,000 a year, it will be tax-free, but obviously you can see your daughter. You already told it. You're just going to take that money because you've already done this. You're going to miss out on your grandchildren, and you're just going to possibly waste that money. So it's not about a financial plan that I can give you, because somehow I already think you know what you can do. I think you know how you can cut out things. You can cut out eating out. You can cut out killing yourself by smoking these stupid cigarettes. So why can't you right here and right now sign a truth pledge? This is about the three of you, the five of you, the three kids and the two of you sitting down and you looking at them and you vowing to them that you're going to choose life over death. You're going to choose wealth and health over poverty and sickness. You're going to choose a family versus being totally alone and financially destitute and a burden on your family. And that's what you need to do. What date can all of you get together? 2 days from now, 3 days from now, no further than a week from now, where the five of you are going to sit down like a family. You're going to write down your action plans. You're all going to work together, and you are going to sign a truth pledge among the five of you that you are never going to waver from doing what's right versus what's wrong. You're never going to waver again from doing what's easy. You're just going to do what's right. Do you get it?
Yes.
You willing to do that, Mark?
I am.
All right. And Michelle, do you believe them?
Yeah.
All right. So the three of you need to do that. You need to get the other two siblings in here because Mark and Sherry, and this is where I'm going to leave it, you are on the brink of financial disaster. You don't have any outlets anymore. Sherry, you have to go out and get another job. You can't use any excuses. You have to go for it. Of all the situations that I've seen on the Suze Orman Show, I'm here to tell you this is one of the most dangerous in the 10 years I have been here. This is one of the most dangerous I have ever seen. You need a wake-up call, and I hope this served as such. All right, you guys, Mark and Sherry, first of all, how are you feeling?
Like crap.
Yeah, it's all right. Tell me why you feel like crap.
Well, we've already talked to our oldest daughter about taking over our finances once this was over.
Yeah. But Sherry, you don't need your oldest daughter to take over your finances. You and your husband, who love each other, are more than capable of doing this yourselves. So do you feel like crap because you finally heard from me what your children have been wanting to say to you for all these years and that it hurts?
Yeah.
Yeah. And does that hurt make it so that your heart's cracked open enough that you're willing to change?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see, what you've lost here is just time. You didn't lose your kids' love. You didn't lose their faith. You didn't lose anything. yet. It's not too late. It's just that the two of you haven't been willing to look at the truth of what was going on because you always felt like it's okay, it'll be all right tomorrow.
I'm not going to sit here and listen that, you know, there's absolutely no way out.
I didn't say there was no way out. I didn't say that yet. But you can't look for a way out until you have emotionally changed, because otherwise you'll just get more money and you'll continue to waste it. As you heard your daughter say, Dad, you're just going to go to Iraq, you're going to make this money, and you're going to spend this extra money on a truck. And you said, that's right, honey, that's what I'm going to do.
And I did say that.
Right? And so what does that show us?
Well, that's irresponsible.
All right? And that's the part that I'm talking about here. It's that until you catch and are able to want to change your irresponsible comments or irresponsible behaviors, any financial plan that I gave you would just go out the window. Because any extra money that you get, you would just spend in an irresponsible way because you wouldn't have changed your behaviors that you've had over the past 57 years, which is why your daughter is nodding yes right now. So let's talk about money for a second, Mark. Would you not say that it's more important to see your grandchildren grow up than it is for you to make money?
Absolutely.
In Iraq. So
Yes.
I think if you agree with that I think you need to make the decision to stay here in the United States of America and figure out how to make more out of the money that you're already making. So the first thing you have to do is go through all your expenses, which you started to do, and you need to see that you're spending $1,500 more a month than you're currently bringing in. So you have to figure out, how do we cut out $1,500 a month of expenses for us to at least be even so we don't continue to dig a hole for ourselves? That is your first step that you need to do. And there are places here that you can cut out money. Cigarettes, eating out, so on and so forth. Your cable and everything else, all of it needs to go. So first we have to get you even. Next, we have to then get Sherry out there making more money. When Sherry starts making more money, now the more money goes to pay off your debt and goes to start saving for retirement. Once you are out of debt, then 100% of Sherry's income is saved for retirement. Those are the types of plans that are available to you, but none of that will do you any good, sweethearts, if you don't stay true with who you are and what your kids need from you and what you need from each other.
I feel that I am failing at teaching my children about money due to my 16-year-old daughter who lives between her father's home in a nearby town and mine.
How do you know that you're the one who is the person teaching your children or child wrong money values?
Yeah.
Yeah. And later, in wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
Yeah, I was looking to renovate my lobster boat.
How old are you, Ronnie?
I'm 14.
Is your voice just changing now? Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's go to Cheryl in Iowa. What can I do for you?
Susie, I feel that I am failing at teaching my children about money due to my 16-year-old daughter who lives between her father's home in a nearby town and mine. She does not have a job. She wants to earn money, but only when she wants it by doing chores at my home. She doesn't do any work on a regular basis. To me, it feels like I'm being guilted by paying her for work that should be part of everyday living here as part of the family. How can I change this situation?
Well, can we talk for a second? Because I'm confused about something. How do you know that you're the one who is the person teaching your children or child wrong money values? How do you know it's not something that she is also doing when she goes to stay at your ex-husband's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you understand that? It concerns me that you're taking on this guilt, and maybe it isn't you at all. And so then you start to feel bad about who you are when that's the true deficit here more than what she's doing with this money. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, do not do that to yourself. Because to be emotionally bankrupt is actually worse than being financially bankrupt. And it will be very, very difficult for you to try to teach financial behavior when she has another place to go. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So it's more the behaviors that she is learning from him than from you. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So now that we know that that's what's happening here, you're going to have a very, very difficult time because every time you say no to her, she's just going to go running back to your ex who's going to feed into that and make it even worse.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So now what do we do about that? I think at the age of 16, I think it's old enough for somebody to have an adult conversation with. So I would be saying to her the truth. Listen, I don't care what happens at your father's house. He can ruin you financially speaking. You can end up exactly like him if you want to. But when you are here, this is the law. And you're going to do this when you're here. You're going to do that when you're here. I am not going to help you financially if I see that you're irresponsible. So you are not to compromise your own values because she needs to see at least one parent standing in their truth so she has a good role model somewhere. And you compromising simply because you want to be seen as the good one and him, and along with him isn't going to work. So you're going to have to be strong here and put the law down and run this household like it's your household. And if she doesn't like living in it, send her back. Gina, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
Good evening, Susie. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime. What can I do for you tonight?
Well, I was calling because my mom is going to be 76 years old in the next coming months, and she's retired and lives with me and my husband, and my 7-month-old and 4-year-old. And we have a 3-bedroom house, and we're in the process of thinking that once my daughter gets older, she'll want her own room because her and her brother share a room. And so my mom is thinking that she will move into her own place, and we are trying to tell her that that's probably not the most financially responsible thing to do, that we live in Southern California and perhaps we need to find a house that might have a back house or a larger space for her to feel that she has her own space.
And so your question to me is?
Can she afford it?
Oh.
If she's only making $1,000 to $1,200 a month with her Social Security and pension, we don't think financially that that's something she can do.
See, you know what's funny, Gina, is that I always have this saying is that we very seldom ask a question that we already don't know the answer to. You already know that your mother cannot, if all her income is $1,000 or even $2,000 a month, move somewhere where in Southern California, where she's paying rent. She also has to feed herself. She has to pay electricity and all these things. Right. There's no way she can do that. So this one is really on you. So either you're going to subsidize her moving out and making sure she can live somewhere else and be okay, or you're going to take that extra money and either expand the house that you currently have or sell the house that you currently have and buy another house that will accommodate your mother staying there forever. So one of those options is up to you, and it all just simply depends what you can actually afford. I personally would opt for expanding the house that I currently have versus selling the house and buying a bigger one, because then you could kind of equip it the way that you really need it and would like it for your mom. But that's just my opinion, but you would know best. Felicia, let me hear your question.
Hi, Susie. I've been watching your show for a while, and I've been following all your advice, and I'm feeling really good about where I am with my money, but I need your help with my estate planning.
You got it.
I'm an only child. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I have one parent still remaining, and I have a large extended family, and I love them, but I'm just not sure that I want them to take care of me if I should be incapacitated or them to have everything. Can you give me some advice?
Yeah. Here's what's hard is that, when you're all by yourself, and hopefully that won't be true for the rest of your life, but right at this point in time, we have other family members sometimes, but that aren't related to us by blood that could take care of us. Are you telling me that in your entire set of friends, there isn't somebody somebody that you think is responsible enough that if something happened to you, they could be the, successor trustee of your trust. They could write your checks for you and things like that. Forget the family members, because sometimes we're not lucky enough to have family members that can do it.
No, I have friends that I love like sisters.
All right, so then why is this a problem? Just appoint one of your friends to be the successor trustee of your trust.
Okay.
If God forbid something happens to you, she will step in and she'll take over and she'll do that. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
My mother's graduating with her first degree from college with a great GPA, and I want to show her how proud I am of all she's accomplished.
So $2,000 to take your mom to Hana. That seems so little. Also,
I'd like to buy a 2011 Harley-Davidson Street Glide.
do you know that I love motorcycles?
Will you do? Will you come up to Maine and we'll go for a ride on it if you approve us?
What do you want to buy?
Harley-Davidson Street Glide.
Hot Springs hot tub.
Renovate my lobster boat.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Can I Afford It segment. This is where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy. Oh, I ask you a few questions, and then I either approve or deny you. Are you ready? Let's see what we have tonight. Tara, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. You are so amazing. I cannot thank you enough for transforming my financial lifestyle.
Thank you, sweetheart. What do you want to buy, though?
My mother's graduating with her first degree from college with a great GPA, and I want to show her how proud I am of all she's accomplished and also thank her for her tremendous support throughout my years.
Aww.
I would love your approval to take her on a mother-daughter Maui vacation and experience the road to Hana to show her a physical beauty that resembles her inner beauty. Susie, please tell me I can afford it.
So $2,000 to take your mom to Hana. That seems so little. How are you going to do that?
Well, I am actually fortunate enough to have a timeshare that I can use, and also that there's a kitchen in the hotel that I can use to cook her meals.
I love that for you. You know, I've taken that trip myself, and I have to tell you, it is stunning. So my friend here, show me the money.
Okay, so income is $6,400 a month combined.
Yep.
Expenses $3,419.
Great.
Debt $216,000 30-year fixed. $3,000 of a student loan. $2,000 credit card debt at 0%. Savings $34,000 liquid and $14,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I have dental hygiene instruments that I had from school, which I will never be using again, so I'm going to sell those for $500, and I will also work an additional 5 days until the vacation that will pay for the rest of it.
All right, and you are 26 years of age, correct?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
you have been approved.
Oh, my God, thank you so much.
Yes, because you have the money, girlfriend. You're doing great. You know, if you were 36 or 46 with the same finances, I probably would have denied you. But at 26, oh, you go for it. Mark, what do you want to buy?
Hey, Susie.
Mark, how are you?
I'm fine. I want you to know my wife and I love your show.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. But what do you want to buy?
I'd like to buy a 2011 Harley-Davidson Street Glide.
For $20,000. Now, that is a sexy machine. I'm looking at it over there. That is a hot-looking bike. Do you know that I love motorcycles?
Will you do? Will you come up to Maine and we'll go for a ride on it if you approve us, and we'll go down to Acadia National Park and
then
ride
go
the Park
for
Loop
it. So,
Road.
you know, I used to ride a Moto Guzzi, a Husqvarna. I had a BMW. I loved motorcycles until I got older and responsible and decided they're a little bit dangerous, but I love them, love them, love them. Show me the money.
Okay.
Kick it into first financial gear for me.
Okay, my combined income is $5,694. Expenses are $3,788 a month. I have no debt other than my house. I owe $140,000 on my home, a 30-year fixed rate of 5.1%.
Yeah.
I have $34,000 in liquid savings. I've got $54,000 in investments, and I have $360,000 in my retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I have a Honda I'm riding right now, and I could sell that and maybe make about $5,000 on it, and then I'd finance the other $15,000.
Denied!
So this,
Denied! denied. Listen, you are 48 years of age. You weren't like my first person tonight who was only 26 years of age. You are getting old, Mark. You're getting old. I can say that because I'm older by 12 years than you. You do not have as much money as you should have. You don't have the money that you should need in an emergency fund. You're going to use, and you're going to increase your expenses. You are so wrong. You're going to keep the Honda that you already have, and you are just going to enjoy that one. Got it, boyfriend? Hillary, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I would like to buy a Hot Springs hot tub.
A Hot Springs hot tub. Oh my God, are they now at $7,300?
Well, that would include installing the electrical outlet that's needed, plus delivery and installation and all that.
Because, you know, I happen to have a Hot Springs one. It was only like $25,000 or $3,000 like 10 years ago. I was going, oh my God, is this called inflation? All right, $7,300 for a hot tub. Do you think you'll use it all the time?
Yes, during my clinicals in school, I stayed in hotels quite a bit and used their hot tubs just about every day.
I got it, but remember, it's not just $7,300 for a hot tub. You're going to have maintenance. You've got to take care of it. It breaks down. These things happen, but that's besides the point. Show me the money.
Okay, I have about $5,500 a month in take home.
Yes.
My expenses are $1,956. I owe $6,500 or $1,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage, and $42,000 on student loans.
Yeah.
I have $29,000 liquid savings, $7,000 in investments, and $16,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Out of my liquid savings.
And then that brings you down to what?
About $2,200.
All right, and what does that mean? You are then $2,000 under the 8-month emergency fund. You're 28 years of age. This is a lot of money for it. At this point in time, you are denied. You do not have enough money to spend $7,300 and all the ongoing expenses on a hot tub, in my opinion. Ronnie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I was looking to renovate my lobster boat.
Your lobster boat.
Yeah.
Ronnie, a lobster boat, what are you going to do when you renovate it? What does that mean, renovate it?
I was going to put a roof on and add just like a GPS and a bottom machine.
And so you need a GPS on a lobster boat. Does the GPS find the lobsters?
No, it plots where you set your traps.
I got it. How old are you, Ronnie?
I'm 14.
Is your voice just changing now?
It's been like this for a while.
It has, all right, because you sound older to me, but all right, I'll take my 14-year-old here. Show me the money.
All right, my monthly take-home is $655. My monthly expense is $55. I am debt-free. I have $9,000 in savings, $600 in investments, and $1,800 in retirement.
And how did you get $9,000?
I've been lobstering for a few years, and I work for my parents own a campground, and I work for them in the summer.
And so through working, so nobody, because so many times, Ronnie, what happens is, people call into the Suze Orman show like you. They see that you're 14 years of age, you have all this money, and then they write in and they go, oh yeah, like how did he get that money? His parents gave it to him, right? But you worked for every penny, did you not?
Right.
You chose to save every penny, did you not?
Correct.
And so now you want to enhance your lobster boat so it's more comfortable for you and that you can continue to make money lobstering. Boyfriend, you have been approved because you have the money to do it. From any source that you have there, you can do it. I love that for you, Ronnie. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here.
Our financial advisor suggested that I put it in a variable annuity.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. When he or she said that to you, what was your immediate gut reaction when they said that to you?
I thought it was good.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Becky in Michigan, lay it on me tonight.
I've recently been separated from my job, and I have my 401k. I have about $205,000 in it.
Yes, girlfriend.
And well, I'm 52, and this isn't all of our savings. It isn't all of our retirement. It's about 25% of my husband's and mine together. And our financial advisor suggested that I put it in a variable annuity.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I'm sitting here going, oh, please, God, please don't let her say the words variable annuity for a retirement account. Please, I'm begging you. And that's exactly what you said. Now, let's talk. When he or she said that to you, what was your immediate gut reaction when they said that to you?
I thought it was good. But my husband did not think it was good.
Oh, thank God there's somebody in your household that has a brain. All right, what made you think it was good? Oh, let me tell you. This is what they sold it to you under, that you'll always get back at least what you put in, correct?
Yeah, that was part of it.
That was part of it. So let's just talk. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever within a tax-deferred vehicle, such as an IRA, IRA rollover, whatever investment this may be, because you have a 401k now that you've just been separated from your job that you are actually going to take and do an IRA rollover with. It is now in a tax-deferred vehicle. What sense does it make to do a tax-deferred investment, which a variable annuity is, in a tax-deferred vehicle? None, none, none. You could, within your IRA rollover, do all kinds of things. You could buy stocks. With this kind of money, you could buy individual stocks. You could buy mutual funds. You could buy exchange-traded funds. You could do anything you want. You could buy individual bonds. You even could lock in 5 or 6 or 7% in individual bonds right now. Are you kidding me? That is the worst idea I have ever heard. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it. Let's go to Illinois, and Jackie, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. How are you today?
Fabulous. Thank you.
I had a question for you today. Me and my husband, we own a townhome in Schaumburg, Illinois. We have had the house on the market for about 8 months now, and with the market the way that it is, we're not going to be able to sell it. So we were wondering if maybe our best bet would be to rent it out and then buy a single-family home, because we do need a little bit more space now with the birth of our daughter.
So again, let me get this correct. You have a home that you have been living in.
Correct.
You're living in this home and you cannot sell it.
Yes.
So now your solution to this is to just rent it out. Will the rent cover the mortgage payment, the insurance, the property taxes, as well as the maintenance?
Yes, it will.
And if you by chance have a situation where you rent it to somebody and that somebody does not turn out to be the most glamorous and wonderful tenant in the world, and they get into financial trouble, and all of a sudden they call up and they say, you know what, Jackie, so sorry to tell you, but I can't pay you your rent this month. And I'm not going to be able to pay your rent the next month, and the month after that, and the month after that. But here's the news, Jackie. I'm going to be staying here, and I'm not going anywhere, and you're going to have to evict me, and that takes 6 to 8 months. Could you still afford that place and the mortgage on the new place that you are buying?
We do have after the down payment on our new home, we would have $15,000 in savings that we would be able to absorb that rent for a couple of months until we could evict the person and find a new renter.
But if that were to happen for a few months to evict, then you're using your emergency money, and then you could get in trouble with the other one as well, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Listen, what my true advice to you would be here is stay where you are and push it for as long as you possibly can until maybe things turn around, and don't move right now and take on an added financial burden. How old is your daughter?
Here.
Say that again?
1 year old.
1 year old. So the truth is, she is not going to need another room of her own for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 years, correct?
Correct.
So can you just stay where you are and don't get yourself into trouble? Got that?
Got it.
Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. Debt is bondage. You will never be this powerful young woman that you're meant to be if you have credit card debt. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
3, 2, Mike, you, Susie.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm coming to you from the control room here at CNBC. You know, there are so many ways for you to be part of the Suze Orman Show. You can either contact me at SuzeOrman.com, SuzeOrman.cnbc.com, become a fan of mine at Twitter or Facebook, or what I'm loving the most is you can ask a question via webcam, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Lauren, what do you want to know?
Hi, Susie. Thank you for having me. I've recently come into $10,000 and through an inheritance, and I would like to know where I can put my money to see it accumulate over time.
Well,
I've actually just graduated from college. I got a full-time job, and I'm living on my own now, and I've racked up about $2,000 of credit card debt. And I'm wondering, should I pay off my debt with the inheritance money, or should I keep paying over time?
Girlfriend, this is what I want you to do. Get rid of the credit card debt. Debt is bondage. You will never be this powerful young woman that you're meant to be if you have credit card debt. So if you get money and it's an unexpected inheritance, or even if it was expected, make good use of that money. Get yourself out of credit card debt. Make sure that you keep that $10,000 in an emergency fund. Now, if you want, you could take some of it, put it into a Roth IRA, but keep that money safe and sound, because remember, money that's in a Roth IRA that you put in, you can take out anytime you want without taxes or penalties. So this way, you could invest it in a Roth IRA, and in case of an emergency, all right, you can get it out. But keep it safe, just be careful with it, and you should be so happy that you have some money to do something with.
Thank you so much, Susie.
Anytime, Laura. Now, coming up next, something that I want you to know. If you think that your finances only affect you, I'm here to tell you you could not be more wrong if you tried. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. All right, before we sign off for tonight, there is one thing that I want you to know. All right, tonight was an interesting night. We started with a Suze Intervention, and I'm sure if you were watching at the top of the show, it had to affect you on some level. But what I do want you to know is this: if you think that your finances only affect you, I'm here to tell you you could not be more wrong if you tried. It affects your friends. It affects your family members. It affects everybody around you, because they can see it. They can feel it. They live with it with you. They feel guilty if you go out to eat and you don't have the money to do it. Everybody gets confused. So if we could just all get straight with our money, if we could all just talk to one another and not be afraid to say, why are you doing that? Da-da-da-da-da, and just talk about it, then we can turn your financial situations around where you are literally standing in your truth. And that is all that matters, because the truth can really set you financially free. Now you know. But until next week, there is only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.